Can we trust any of our government agencies? Okay, that is what we're going to be discussing. And this is because of a great story that Matt Taibbi did in Rolling Stone. It's about the SEC and how the regulators there work. First of all, surprisingly, Chuck Grassley, a Republican senator from Iowa, has been asking the SEC about some investigations. And now he found out through partly a whistleblower that Matt also writes about, that turns out they basically destroy records of their investigations. And I love the first quote from Grassley. He says, quote, "It doesn't make sense that an agency responsible for investigations would want to get rid of potential evidence." Which makes a lot of sense. That's right. If you cared about the investigations, you probably wouldn't want to get rid of the evidence. But what they're doing is these are called matters under investigations, MUIs, and low-level analysts who actually care about their jobs actually look into whether there's insider trading, fraud, et cetera, against these big banks. Then it goes up to the higher levels, and the higher levels go, yeah, I don't think so. We're not doing any of those investigations, and burn the records. Okay, they don't actually burn them, but they do shred them. They literally destroy all the records. So now, why would they do this? Well, let's give you one example. There's a guy by the name of Dick Walker who was in charge of reviewing one of these investigations against Deutsche Bank. And there was apparently considerable evidence to that. Again, we find this out through whistleblowers, like a guy by the name of Darcy Flynn, who had worked there for over a decade, right? And so they bring this up to his attention. He says, I'm going to recuse myself from the case. And we're not going to tell you why we stopped the case, but when you look at that, all of a sudden, the case is gone. It is not pursued, and all the evidence is destroyed. Now, you want to guess where Dick Walker went to right afterwards? A couple of months later, shockingly enough, he became the general counsel for Deutsche Bank. And that's generally how it works. And Matt's got a lot more details in the Rolling Stone piece, which we'll talk about in a second here. But let me open it up to you guys. So, is there any hope here? As you read the Rolling Stone story, it's a constantly revolving door. The heads of the organizations, the top guys, are constantly going to work for Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank, this well-known swindler, Texas billionaire. Let me give you his name. R. Ellen Stanford, who finally got arrested. $7 billion Ponzi scheme. Here, let me give you a quote from that because it's so great. The guy who was supposed to investigate him doesn't investigate him, burns the records. Okay, I mean, this is so crazy, right? And then says, quote, every lawyer, after he went to go work for him, he says, every lawyer in Texas and beyond is going to get rich on this case, okay? I hated being on the sidelines.
Okay, here's the deal. The deal is that the system is insanely corrupt. I mean, people talk about, are the people corrupt? The system is designed to be corrupt. Matt's story is the sister story to another thing that doesn't get enough evidence, which is under Bush and now accelerated under Obama, the Justice Department policy for investigating banks in this country is not to investigate, but to say, Chase Bank, investigate yourself and let me know if you do anything illegal, literally. And if by some embarrassing chain of events, I find out as the government that you, Chase Bank, did something illegal, I saw Chase, look into it, investigate this and get back. You know, so what we have here is a system and this revolving door that you talk about, Dick Walker. Not only do they destroy the records in these cases, but if they could, they'd have the men in black come in and do the flash in the eye so that the individuals involved forget everything they learned. Since they can't do that, they hire them for big money.
Well, let me jump in there because there's an excellent case of exactly what you're talking about, again, in the Rolling Stone piece. There's a woman by the name of Jacqueline Milan who worked at AIG, and around September 15th of 2008, now remember that's mid-meltdown, she says, oh my God, there's some serious insider trading going on at our office at AIG. She works for AIG. AIG goes, oh, thank you so much for letting us know you're fired. Okay, obviously, immediately, right? So then they go to the SEC. They're like, insider trading at the company that we are giving an enormous bailout to, the largest of all the bailouts, over $180 billion. Hey, they might be funneling the money to themselves. You might want to look into that. And they go, yeah, that's a great point. Don't worry, we're going to appoint a commission led by AIG. Totally, everybody hired by AIG, no outside people at all. And AIG will tell us if they were corrupt. That's what the SEC says.
That's what the SEC says.
You have a problem with that?
None whatsoever. I think all these institutions are best left alone to investigate themselves. No, I think that, we all remember like the savings and loan debacle, if we go into the Wayback Machine, not too far back. And then we remember the Enron scandal. Like, I don't know who the poster boogeymen are of bringing the entire financial world to its knees in this collapse we just had. Where are those boogeymen? Where are the prosecutions of those guys?
Allow me to tell a story, if I may. May I?
Yeah, I'm asking
Okay.
you because I don't even know. I don't know.
They don't exist.
I worked for AIG for many years, as you know. You probably don't know. Not in the great money-making, scandal-ridden areas, fortunately for my soul, unfortunately for my bank account. But there was a guy named Joe Cassano. Joe Cassano ran the financial products unit of AIG. 200 people out of a company of 120,000 that responsible for the whole collapse of everything, basically. His guys were just...
He's like patient X.
He's like, yeah, he's like, exactly. He's patient, he's the carrier, and he's the vector. And so he does this, makes these multi-billion-dollar totally leveraged deals, eventually bringing the economy down. Now, AIG, a lot of people don't know this, did one of these deals with the SEC early 2000s. I forget, I think it was 2003, where the SEC said, okay, we'll let you off the hook for blatant fraud. But you have to A, pay a fine, you have to B, keep an independent auditor in Joe Cassano's unit, and of course, it's illegal to lie to investors about what you're doing because that's stock fraud. You can go to jail for that. What happens? During Levin's investigation and some of the other Senate investigations, now, I can't call Joe Cassano guilty of a crime because that would be slander, but you remember the scene in The Producers where the jury foreman comes out and says, we find the defendant incredibly guilty. You remember that thing? Just bear that in mind as I'm talking about Joe Cassano, who I cannot call guilty of a crime because he was never prosecuted. So what happened was that you go through the records, Joe Cassano says to the independent auditor, that was part of a legal settlement, I'm not letting you look at the books. Independent auditor quits in frustration. Joe Cassano goes on a call, investor call, with people who are putting all their money in AIG and says, the books are great. Nobody has a problem with the books. He says, our deals are money good, meaning as good as cash. You know, our deals are money good. He's already been told there are serious problems. Senior executives have already been told there are senior problems. They're all on the call. They all say nothing. Joe Cassano brings down the world economy after a year's worth of waiting for the Justice Department to act. Finally the story leaks out like a little over a year later. The Obama Justice Department told Joe Cassano's lawyer, there will be no trial.
Now, let me finish that story. So he gets no prosecution. What did he get? He got between $300 to $600 million in compensation from AIG. Now, we put in over $180 billion of taxpayer money to rescue AIG. Did we get the money back from Cassano, who caused that $180 billion loss? No, we didn't, okay? He gets to keep those hundreds of millions of dollars, and as an extra kicker, the government said that they needed his expertise in the beginning, and they were paying $1 million a month to him for his expertise before that story broke and everybody was outraged, and finally they're like, okay, he's taking enough money, we'll let him retire.
So where are the investigators in the Justice Department who are taking it to these guys? Where are they?
That's a great question, and I constantly keep asking, where's Holder? You know, our Attorney General.
Well,
I mean, he was supposed to be a lion for the people, right? And I mean, he was supposed to be a progressive, and he was going to get in there, and he was going to roll up his sleeves, and what happened? Nothing. The one guy prosecuted from Goldman Sachs was when he did the actions at Goldman Sachs, he was 28 years old. They found a guy that is an incredibly
and French,
fabulous
right?
Fab Therese, okay?
Right.
And they brought him in, a 28-year-old, and they say, we got him.
I'll give him the frogs.